What's up, guys? Carl here, No Bull Training. So the obesity epidemic, at least that's what we're calling it now in the news. So yes, obesity rates are going up. How do we clarify what obese is? Currently, we use body mass index. They take your height to your weight. So if you're short and you have a few extra pounds, you're going to be considered obese. Anything over 25 is the kind of the number they've come up with. I'm not 100% backing the BMI scale. I'm a good example. I'm 6'6", 255. I'm considered morbidly obese. So you take that with a grain of salt. We don't know their body fat. We don't know their muscle mass. We don't know their bone density, etc. We don't know their activity level. You take it with a grain of salt. So the numbers are going up, though. Is it COVID? Yeah, it doesn't help. Is it more food every day? Of course. Easier to get to it, more abundant, longer shelf life of bad foods, or high sugar foods, I should say. No food's bad. Moderation in my book. But is it less activity every day? Yeah, yes to all of these. But it doesn't happen how people think it happens. You know, you might see a larger person, and I once was 335 pounds, I know. It didn't happen in a day, it didn't happen in a week, it didn't happen in a month, it really didn't even happen in a year. It takes decades, really. It can take up to decades. Imagine if you gained 10 pounds this year. That would be bad, but it wouldn't be catastrophic. Do that 10 times in 10 years. So imagine putting on 100 pounds in a decade. Now that's a substantial weight gain. Give it 20 years, you might put on 200 pounds. So the point is, it's not big, massive changes in how much someone's eating to get larger and how much less they're moving. It's subtle, and it happens. It's like the second hand on a clock. It's very subtle. But if you put it in fast motion, you would see it's actually not that subtle. But it's subtle motion over so much time. So if you want to lose the weight, I mean, you just put that in reverse. You don't go eating fish and kale for 6 months. That's not realistic. You won't maintain that. But you can eat a little better. You can move a little more. And just think about that. It'll take time. You can make it go quicker, you can make it go slower, but that's up to your intensity and how consistent you are. So again, obesity doesn't happen over a year. It happens over decades. So the same can be said if you're trying to lose the weight. Just make smart changes, but changes that you can stay with and be consistent with. That's how it'll work. Give it a shot.